Yeah, so what's going on, everyone? My name is Shane. How you guys are doing? I have a Instagram channel. It's called High Top Life. I talk about motivational, being inspired, and achieving goals. And yeah, I have like a whole bunch of videos up there that can help you guys out to inspire you and motivate you. And this is our little podcast. Excuse me with the little coughing, but it's all right. It's called Unscripted Life, and yeah. So welcome everyone.
Welcome, everyone. Yeah, so we're talking about goal setting today. My name's Dennis. I have an Instagram page. It's at Dennis Thomas Ali. And I have a Facebook group as well called Bring Me Mindfulness. And like with Shane, I talk about motivation and routine every single day, making sure that you're striving for something in life. Because I think a lot of people are lost in terms of what they want from life. And what I want to try and bring to the world is how important it is that you have
Hmm.
something to strive for. I think it's just a natural thing in humans to want to do better for themselves. I feel like, especially over the last few years, people have lost that sense of purpose and drive and what is life and things like that. I think because things can change so quickly.
Yeah,
Um, that,
I think so
yeah,
too. So yeah, I think that setting goals and stuff that helps you to stay on a narrow path. But like you said, in the world today, I think everybody's just going with the flow of things and just just going with everything what comes along the way. So it's nothing really planned out or anything like that. And also I'm dealing with life situations and things like that can throw you off and keep you from where you need to be doing the right things and also keep you distracted from all the things that you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, so setting goals, it could be a little tedious, a little hard sometimes. So but we all in the same boat, and I'm also I'm struggling with that also as well, but I just try to set my own goals and all things that I need to do. So we are going to share some of our perspective on things and things that we can share with you guys that you can apply to your life.
perfect. That's a good introduction. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I, I feel like the importance of goal setting is just basic and fundamental for humans. You just have to look through our known history of the monuments that have been built, temples, churches, things like that. Someone has to be motivated and have a goal in mind to build.
Hmm.
A lot of people are religious, a lot of people are spiritual, a lot of people are driven by certain things in life, and you just have to look around to see how people do set goals in order to build something, make something, strive for something. It just applies to all areas of your life, personal life, relationships, um, in your work life, career, hobbies. You can apply goals to anything that you want.
Mm.
Um, but the point is to actually make those goals attainable and to strive to achieve them because there's no point really making goals unachievable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, one of my bugbears is that people set um, New Year's resolutions every year, and they
Yeah, I hear you.
let's be honest, let's be honest, it's a perfect excuse for somebody to make it a time of the year at the very start to strive for something, quit something, and to be accountable for something. But the key
Mm.
word is accountable, and people forget how important that is because if you don't have accountability along that way of goal setting, it's so easy to negotiate with your mind. There's something up here in our brains that wants to keep us in our comfort zones and wants
Yeah.
to keep us having that instant gratification and not
Mm.
strive for something. So to counteract with that, we need somebody alongside us to make sure we are accountable, or to have a strong enough mindset to be able to do that and check in with something every day. So, yeah, one of my bugbears is New Year's resolutions. Don't get me wrong; some people will probably see them through, and it can be a way of life.
Mm.
But I think it's too cheap sometimes to say I have a New Year's resolution every single year, and you're repeating the cycle. That's
Yeah.
what happens to a lot of people. They don't have a good enough reason to start in that moment or next week or something like that. I understand why people want to set goals at the very beginning of a year, but sometimes these goals take more than a year to achieve. So you have to get really, really clear on what that goal is, and you have to envision that goal every single day. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, you need
Yeah,
something strong
I'm
enough to
sorry.
keep you going. I was just going to
Yeah,
say you just need that accountability, with goal setting.
yeah, I know. I totally agree. That's like almost 95% of the world that they have like a New Year's resolution, don't even follow it through. In the beginning, they feel strong, they're encouraged, they're inspired, and then all of a sudden, it slows down. That encouragement just dies down little by little by little by little. And before you know it, procrastinating. Oh, I gotta do this. And then you keep falling far behind and then you stop doing this. And then before you know it, before you even realize it, like you stop achieving what you're supposed to be achieving for this year. And I have to say, I think the biggest problem is that they don't sell realistic goals. Realistic.
Yeah,
Um, realistic goals is very important. And it's, you should like you said, you should have like a clear goal of what you really want to do. Like some people have like, oh, I have these 10 goals that I want to do, but I mean, that's a lot of goals, but I tend to set goals that's really more important and more irrelevant. Most people will just say like that type of goals is kind of stupid. No, but I'm picking these goals because it apply to myself, not be apply to you, because everybody has different goals, different mindsets or whatever. Like one of the goals that I really wanted to do this year is like, I want to start a podcast, to be
yeah,
honest with you. But I didn't know, I want to say like I didn't get started on it right away, but I was focusing on videos and also things of my life. I slowed down in my videos because I have a lot of things going on, but I'm still gonna go into it. So anyways, the podcast, like I start thinking to myself, should I do this? Should I do that? And I just left it alone for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I said, you know what, I gotta achieve it because it keep coming back to my mind because it's very important. That's why I just wanted to follow through, and that's when I reached out to you and I told you, like, hey, hey, you want to do a podcast together or whatever? That's what happened. I told you I don't have all the ideas and all the stuff. Like, that's one of the things. Stop thinking that you're supposed to have all
yeah,
the resources in your palm of your hand. I got planned this out or whatever. How about just take the leap of faith and just go with it?
yeah,
Everything will come to you. That's about goal setting and you're trying to achieve it. And I have like three main goal, not three main goals. I have four main goals that I want to complete this year. And this is just one of them I achieve, and this is the podcast I want to do. So that's really important. So like getting back to like you have to identify your goal. What do you really want? And I think the best way to do it is writing it down. Just write it down. Just realistically, I have to accomplish this. And if you fall off if you like got distracted, get back on it and start doing it again. Get back on it and start doing it again and keep applying it. Um I would say also adding to that, read books that applies to habits. Like I read this book called Atomic Habits. I don't know if you heard of that,
yeah,
Habits. I have
yeah.
the
So
book.
yeah, I listened to the audio version.
I listen to audio.
Yeah, so I used to have this app called Blinkist, and it used to take the important parts of books and then do like write out, not write, but so it spoke about the audio part of it.
Mm,
Um, the most important parts, like 10 minutes of these books, like the most important parts, and then I would just listen to that in the car on the way to work back in the
okay.
day. So yeah, I have heard of that book. Yeah, it was a long
Yeah,
time ago.
so I listened to Atomic Habits. It talks about how you can apply and like if you achieve something as like 1% every day, it gets better and better throughout the whole entire year. You don't have to be perfect, but if you do a little every day, it'll be all right. I haven't read the book in such a long time. I listened to the audio and I have the book, but I have to get back to the book. So that helps out. Atomic Habits it's a really good book. If you don't have the book, I advise you just go to YouTube, look up Atomic Habits and just listen to the Audible. It's really nice. So, I say, yeah, identify your goals and also create a plan. Just gotta create a plan. Just write it down. And just be more realistic and keep it real with yourself. How much can you do a day to achieve that goal, you know? You have to set up a plan and just keep going and keep going. And just make it in what's it called, in bite size. Stop trying to take on like everything all at once. That's what messes up a lot of people because they say, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And they cram so much time into achieving goals that it's not realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, at the end of the month, I need to achieve this goal, this five goals. This year I have to complete 20 goals or whatever, but a lot of people don't complete all those goals or whatever. That's why you need to have like realistic goals in your life and have like a deadline. You may not meet the deadline, but you'll be a lot more closer than where you were before. Just have like a deadline because when you say to yourself, you know what, I need to achieve this, but you didn't achieve it, but you're a lot more closer than before, you know?
And even to say I need to achieve this before the end of next year, but when is the end of next year? The
Yeah.
30, like the 31st of the month at midnight at the end of that year. It needs to be
Mhm.
so specific because if you're very vague with a completion date, then you're probably going to be quite vague with following through on that. And
Yeah,
that's why it
pretty
needs to
much.
be. Yeah. I just want to go back just quickly. I wanted to
Go,
add
go, go, go ahead.
something just I learned recently, just to add to the bite size thing about taking small chunks of your goal and
Hmm.
breaking it down into small chunks like bite size. So if you think of your goal initially, most goals are probably quite big. You think of them as an elephant because elephants are big, right?
Hmm.
How it's like eating an elephant. How are you going to eat that entire elephant? Where do you start? Where do you finish? Where do you think of even beginning? So um, you have to chop it down into bite-sized pieces. That's how you should view your goal as taking it down into bite-sized pieces and making it more manageable for yourself. That
Like a
will
steak.
just Yeah, exactly like
Like a
that. Something
steak.
big that you want to eat. It could be anything. It could be you want to eat a house, you want to eat a car, you're going to eat a
Yeah,
steak,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
know it sounds silly, but that is how we should view our goals. That most of the time they are too big, and then we get overwhelmed with these goals, and then we just tend to give up because that's just our makeup. It's not that you're not as driven as other people. It's just you haven't found the right tools. So yeah, I just wanted to add that
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
he's 100% sure. I'm sure about that. Yeah, about taking out your goals in bite size, so
Mhm.
it gets better, and it's like a snowball effect. Little ball, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and before you know it, hey, you're doing awesome. And I used to do this thing last year. Actually, no, it wasn't last year. I think it was 2 years ago. But this help out too. You have a habit checklist.
Okay,
um you check it off as you go along. It makes things a lot more easier because like for example, it's called a habit checklist for the
okay,
whole month. Let's see how much boxes you scratch off and see how consistent you're with your goals and at the end of the month because it
I
shows
like.
that.
Not,
Hmm?
sorry, I've not heard of that
um
before. So yeah, that's good.
it's a
Sounds
checklist. It comes in different. It can comes like in a row from the beginning and all the way to the end. Or in some checklists, it looks like a spiral. So you start
yeah.
from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way like a whole month.
Mhm.
So you check it off as you go along and see how consistent you are with that goal.
Yeah,
And it helps you check your progress.
yeah,
How's you coming
definitely.
along? So it's like you say you're exercising. So of course you check your progress, like, how much time you're bench pressing, how many calisthenics you're doing. So it helps
Yeah,
you to see, where you need to improve at and how better you're getting. So that really helps out a lot.
yeah,
Checking your progress, and also you can make adjustments. Don't stick to what routine works for you. What routine may work for me or for you or anybody else might not work for anybody else. So you stick with your own routine. Just try to go on Google and find some type of plan that can help you to stick on to stay on track in what you're doing with your progress. It really works out.
Yeah,
Like I say, writing it down is one good thing. Just write it down. Just write it down. At least you could see it every day and you could say like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. It's reminding you, let you know that you need to focus more on that. And it helps you to stay motivated,
yeah,
And if you're having a partner like a wife or a girlfriend or a friend that's also on the same in the same boat with you, it helps you to get better. Like you're married, right? Yes.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course. So, your wife and you are on the same in the same boat. So you
yeah.
guys, I know you guys have your own different goals, of course, but you guys are going in the same direction. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we have some joint goals in life, and we always check in with them as much as we can. It's keeping open dialogue, open communication with each other, and it's a part of developing your relationship, as
Yeah.
well.
Mm,
What's the point in being together for 50, 60 years to the end of your life if you're not driven to do things together? Even just going for your honeymoon, um, a, I don't know, a break somewhere, vacation, or how you guys say vacation, but we say holiday.
mm,
Um, just you plan those types of things as well, don't you? So you do those things together, and that can be other areas of your relationship as well, not just for weekends away or weeks away together in a different country or something like that. It can be financial goals, relationship goals as well, making sure that
mm.
you're keeping that open dialogue with each other, checking in with each other as well. So sometimes we do those types of things without even realizing it. So yeah, just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah. And the goals that you're doing, it comes to you automatic because you've been doing it like every day or whatever. It just comes to you all the time. It's not like you have to think about it. It's all in your mind and you
Yeah,
just keep going. It's kind of like do you have to think about picking up the spoon to eat the food? No, you just grab it and just eat it and just go. Do you talk to yourself that you need to walk? No. So that's all comes with just focusing on your goals and you just keep going.
yeah. You have
And
to become second nature to you.
yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was trying to find the word second nature. So yeah. So just doing all that, it overcomes a lot of challenges. And one thing I got this is an important thing also as well. I think you should celebrate every victory that you do, like you exercise.
Yeah,
Just celebrate,
I
Just say like
celebrate with a cheat meal or something like that, and that feels good to me, or a snack.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. Something like that, And say like, hey, you know what? I worked out hard, man, and okay,
You
let me
deserve
go eat some ice cream or something, you know what I'm saying? You know,
pizza.
um, let me go buy like a hat or something like that. Something whatever to say like, yes, I achieved this. Okay, what else can I do? That's what it is.
Yeah,
I feel like I feel really great when doing this podcast
yeah,
not with you, but I also feel good, like it's like I'm achieving something that I wanted to do, and
mhm,
as I keep going and going, I mean, yeah, I will probably have setbacks in the future or whatever it is. I'm not predicting that that's going to happen, but the thing is that I will keep going because I like what I'm doing. This is something new and I enjoy it, so it's not going to stop. So I'm curious of how far this is podcast is going to go within a year. I don't know. Maybe we will have like probably 10 people, I'm just saying it
I
because
I have the goal of just having one person to listen regularly. That would be incredible to me because that just shows that what is affecting one person
mm,
positively.
yeah,
That and then it's just like you said before, a snowball effect. If that continues on, then we're on a roll. And yeah, that's the aim. But yeah, like you said, even next in 1 year's time, if we had 100 episodes in that next year, hopefully one person is gonna listen to it, maybe 10. You
yeah,
never know. But if we keep doing it, then and we keep believing in it and what could happen, then I'm sure we're gonna get there. And
yeah,
we're learning about each other, different cultures. We're learning about different things as well along that path as well, which is great. So yeah,
yeah. It's just also just maintaining a problem solving, just solving the problem as you go along, you know? Not everything is going to be smooth or whatever. You just think of different ways how you can make it a little more better. You know, things will slow you down. That's happens in life. That's the way it is. You will think of different things like how you can go about it. You
Think things are
know,
going to come in, things are going to come in the way, and you have to expect that. You cannot bury your head thinking I'm going to achieve these goals or this goal before the end of the year and nothing bad is going to happen, because I guarantee you when that first thing bad does happen after 1 month, you're going to probably give up because it's too hard. But if you embrace that struggle,
yeah.
as I say, they embrace the suck,
Mhm.
then you will better equip yourself to overcome that and just keep going, overcome the next hurdle, the next hurdle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
And then set yourself up for those rewards along that path. As much as I like routine and going hard at something, you have to
Mhm.
have those small wins along the way, because that's what it's like, dangling the carrot or something like that, or laying out treats for a dog to get them to eat or something like that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
just an idea. But yeah, you have to keep rewarding yourself along the way, because then you know you're making progress.
Yeah, of course. Why not? You know, why work so hard and you're not going to reward yourself? Like who
Yeah.
does that? You know what I'm saying? So if you go to work and you work, and you know, and you decide like, you know what, let me just take a few bucks out of my paycheck and just go buy a sneaker or a jersey or just go to the
Mm,
movies or something like that. I don't think there's anybody I know that doesn't reward themselves. You got to reward yourself, do something. You know, it just make you feel a little more motivated and more happy and more enticed to do even more better. That's all it is.
exactly.
Um, and just maintain flexibility, you know. This flexibility, talk to your friends, talk to your family, and see how you can better yourself. It works out. And so, you know, don't try to take too much opinions of what you got to do this or do that or whatever. Take out what works for you and your personality and your realistic life. That's
Yeah.
what it is, you know. Like I said, we all come from different countries. We all have different lifestyles and whatever. So yeah, don't take too much information because that would definitely discourage you because wow, I can't achieve that, man. My friend is going that direction, but it's tough. So no, don't discourage yourself like that. It's just keep going and keep going. And that's all it is, you know?
As well, as long as you have a good support system, people are going to give you good feedback, constructive criticism in order for you to grow. You're humble enough to ask people for their
Yeah.
opinion of you, rather
Mm-hmm.
than just expecting criticism and burying your head from that, because it's going to happen to you one way or another. You're better to ask people, how am I doing in this area of my life, do you think? Because then that's just a feedback loop, rather than that's criticism and that's making me feel bad. I shouldn't do it because somebody's told me five bad things about it and one good thing. No, that's that's six bits of information that you've just received in order to do better, do better. So, yeah, um, embrace that uh, constructive criticism from people, and
Mm.
don't compare your chapter one to somebody else's chapter 10. As long as you have a good support network, you can compare your results,
Yeah,
but
you
don't
can.
keep comparing your journey in that moment to other people, because that will take away any joy that you have going through that goal. And the most important thing is to stay consistent through that. And you have to not avoid negativity, but just comparing yourself. And that's what we always do, especially in this day and age with social media and um,
Mm-hmm.
being connected to so many people around the world. We always compare ourselves to other people so much, and that can have a negative effect unless your mindset is strong enough. Then, like I said, you can compare your results to other people, but
Mm-hmm.
keeping in mind that it's still a journey, it's still a process. You just have to keep going. Look past that negativity field and just keep going along that path. And
Yeah.
it's, these paths that we go on to achieving goals are gonna obstacles are gonna come in the way. And like I said, you just have to keep going. That's the secret to any success, whether that's small wins, big wins, you know, being running your own business, being the best parent you can be. They're all goals that are adjacent to somebody's how do I say this? Like, they're adjacent to someone's goals in life, like the want for a better word. It suits them, and that's
Yeah.
fine. That success for you to being a good parent and seeing your child get good grades in school is going to make you feel good inside because you're constantly trying to improve yourself to improve them. Be the best version of yourself so that they can be the best version of themselves because children are like sponges and they will feed off of the energy that their parent
Hmm.
gives out. And
Hmm.
then, just because somebody's a successful business owner doesn't make your goals any less than theirs.
Yeah.
Just because they earn billions of pounds and you don't, their success is just different to yours, and that's the beauty of life is that everybody is different. So you can't
Hmm.
constantly compare yourself. And that's one thing that I come across a lot is people that they constantly compare their chapter one to somebody else's chapter 10, and that steals any joy along that path because the path is tough. And to make it any
Yeah.
more tough than what it needs to be, you don't need to be comparing yourself to anybody else because we are all in our own ship in life, in the great big sea, and we're just trying to look for that lighthouse. Some
Hmm.
people can be that lighthouse for you. So, like for me, I look up to somebody like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Always have done. Always used to
Hmm.
watch wrestling when I was younger. So uh, I just admired him throughout my life. And in my early part of me working out in the gym, I have. I know I'm never going to be as big as him, but
Hmm.
his mindset and his work ethic is just it just attracts me so much, and I don't compare my. That would be silly, to compare myself to him. So you as long as you have that good mentality to keep pushing on and don't over compare, then you're reducing the risk of over comparing and then stopping yourself from. It's almost like a self sabotage. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the best way to put it. It's self sabotage because,
Yeah.
like I said, your chapter one is far way back from somebody else's chapter 10. You don't need to keep comparing all the time.
Mm.
In that sense that they're further ahead than me. Why am I not there yet? It's silly to think that way because they started maybe 10 years before you. Everybody
Hmm.
starts in different positions in life, in different boats in life, no matter what subject your goal is in. So just stick to the path, keep a good accountability and support system, take that constructive criticism from people, and understand that those are just bits of information being fed back to you in order for you to do better and to keep going.
Yeah. I totally agree with you with that. Is what you said about the thing is I forgot what you said. I'm trying to go back what you said about
Was it something to do with the path?
yeah, it's something we're doing with the path, but it's all right, no big deal. But anyways, it's just saying like everybody has a different path. That's the thing. We all have a different path, and you said it like, yo, we all different. That's the thing about human life. No one's the same, and we never will be. And don't compare yourself from your chapter one to their chapter 10 because they did a lot more work. They did a lot more hustling, and they did so much. That's why you gotta stop comparing yourself. That's not the right way to go, to be honestly. And sometimes I gotta say, sometimes I feel like I should have been a little farther than I'm supposed to be in. So I would say, what, Shane, why it's this the reason why you're not there is because you didn't focus on this and focus on that. You don't need to focus on he or she where they're at. You need to focus on what you're doing right now. I
Yeah,
think that's just the problem. Too much of comparison, and that's not
too
really
much
good.
emotion. There's too much emotion involved as well.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what.
much.
Yeah, some people are more emotional than others, which is fine. I get that. But what you have to understand is tough love. Sometimes you have to remove the emotion from the equation in
Mm,
order to get from point A to point B. You know, sometimes there's too much emotion involved in that, and you have to regulate that. If you can't, then you know it's not it's not anybody else's fault. That's just how things are for you. It
yeah,
can be done. It can be done by anybody that is able to do something, but you have to sometimes get out of your own head in order to see what's going on around you, and that's the ego. That's the comparison part.
Hmm.
That's just the jealousy inside of us. It all happens, but some others are able to control that side rather than, let it consume them too much. So yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
So I would say like, yeah, it's coming back to me. You gotta make the sacrifice.
yeah,
So just make the sacrifice. If you don't make the sacrifice, how are you supposed to be just like the person that you're admiring? They had to make a whole bunch of sacrifices, like
yeah.
sacrifice the weekends, sacrifice the party time, and going out here and there. They probably buckled down, sat down in the chair, and start writing down and planning, strategizing, and start thinking about, okay, plan A, I gotta go to plan B to C, D, E, F, G, and that's the way it is. You gotta make a sacrifice, you know. No one says that, well, goals, setting your goals can be fun, but it's also a hustle and it's a sacrifice, you know. But that comes along when you are sacrificing and things start to become a little more fun, a little more interesting. That's
Yeah.
just what it is, you know. And like I was saying earlier, piece by piece, don't ta tackle everything all at once. Just go little by little. And yes, sacrifice is the one of the most top things. You just got to sacrifice it, you know. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve these four goals at the end of this year, but I gotta make a sacrifice. It's not gonna come that easy. So that's just the way it is. And maybe I will stumble and fall, but I gotta get up and keep going. But that's the way it is. Um, and don't let fear stop you from going, for achieving your goals. Fear is going to stop you. It's just what it is. It's going to stop you, and you're belittling. Like I said, you feel you belittle yourself because you don't have this AXYZ or whatever it is.
Fear of
I
success, right?
Yeah.
Fear of failure, fear of not being accepted, fear
Mm.
of being judged by family or friends or something like that because you've started something new in your life.
Yeah, pretty much end up being in the opinions of others of your
Yeah,
goals. That would
definitely.
definitely slow you down, and that's like standing and people are just throwing a ball at you at your face all the time, or
Mm,
whatever. Eventually you just gotta move left, right, and
yeah,
just dodge
that's
all of
it.
that. So,
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a lot of opinions about me or whatever. But here's the thing. The people that have opinions about you and your goals, what are they doing? You gotta stop and think, what are they doing? Because
Exactly.
they're comparing you, but they ain't doing nothing.
They're not putting out some positivity in the world. They're not working on their goals. They're not putting themselves through applied suffering to do better. They're just
Yeah.
out to judge people and live a life of mediocrity. That's just how it is. We've got to say it how it is. These people that judge
Mm,
don't put themselves through enough applied pressure because if you did and you're not, put it this way, if anybody that's going to judge you for doing something in your life, doing something that you want to do, that you're driven to do, you have this fire inside of you to achieve something. Anybody that's going to judge you for it, they don't have enough fire within themselves to put themselves outside of their comfort zone and do something.
hmm
So you have to realize that person, if they really supported you, they're probably doing something outside of their comfort zone in their life.
hmm
So if they're not doing that, then they're just sitting there and they're just judging you because you're taking the opportunities that they didn't take, you know?
Yeah,
And
you
that's
see,
just,
you see more than yourself. That's the thing, and
yeah,
they're just not. They can't see more than themselves at all. Like if you put your hand in front of you, like can you see beyond your hand? Some people just see I just see my fingers and stuff. But what I'm trying to say, like, step out of your comfort zone and just go beyond where you're at. You
yeah,
never know what you can achieve by setting goals and stuff because there's always going to be that unknown. Like I'd send you a link. His name is Trent Sheldon
okay.
on YouTube. I don't know if you checked him out or not, but he's one of my uh people that I look up to.
Hmm.
Pretty nice guy, man. He's very good motivational speaker.
Hmm.
Um what he said is that people like they set goals for this whole entire like for the whole entire year. Forgot it, just slipped my mind. Um,
Don't worry.
yeah, sometimes it would do that, but it's all right. But it's okay. But it's all right. So Trent Sheldon is saying that there's people out there that they have like their goals for this whole entire year, right? So you just said like, why don't you set goals for just half a year? Just half a year. Just half a year. And just see where you can go. Because you said like, if you set goals like half a year and you really work towards it, you'll start to look back in the past and say, you know what? I wasn't doing this, but now look what I'm able to achieve. Okay. So if I move on, like if I move on the second half of the year, can I achieve more beyond that? So you got
Yeah,
to ask yourself that type of question. So you have to talk to yourself, can I able to achieve more? Just like myself, the same thing with a podcast, Back then I ain't had anything, but now look where I'm at. Okay, Shane, you got the ball rolling. Okay. How far are you going to go in half a year? Let's see where this is going to go. Okay. So then when I reach that halfway mark, then I look back, okay, you know what? I'm 50 episodes in. Maybe I have a 3 people, 4 people on the podcast. Let's see what happens. You just make a comparing of yourself and see where you can go. Just
yeah.
compare yourself. That's all it is.
You got to just look in the mirror every single day and say it's just you versus you. I know it's really cliche, and I know it's cringe sometimes to say things like that, but it's
Yeah.
true.
Self-reflection. Yeah.
Yeah. And going back earlier, you said something about being 1% better every single day. That's how I talk to myself every single day. What
Mm.
who else do I have to compare my chapter with? Nobody. And
Nobody.
it comes with I'm not the most mature person, but it comes with maturity as you get older. You start to pull away from people that you were trying to impress, people that that are too far ahead of you. You just
Mm.
become as long as you raise your self-awareness, one day you will wake up and say it's just me versus me, and that's your self-awareness. To be honest, people don't care about us unless we're successful. They don't want to see the struggle. They don't want to see you go through the hard times
Of
because
course.
yeah, and again, these are people that are not pushing themselves as well because nobody wants to see struggle. Nobody wants to see anything bad. People want to just see all of the good things. So that's what you have to remember: is raise your self-awareness,
Mm.
look in the mirror, and just say, before I go to bed at night, did I do 1% better in certain areas today? If I didn't do everything today, that's fine. But was I 1% better today in one area? If that meant, I don't know, um, if you're, I don't know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, if you're a car salesman,
Mm.
yesterday you sold one car and then all of a sudden you think you're amazing and you can sell 4 cars the next day. No, 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 that's too much. Can
Mm.
you just do 2 cars the next day or something like that? Maybe that's a little bit unrealistic, but maybe one week, let's say you sell 3 cars and you're new to the car sales. Um, Maybe you got lucky in that week,
Yeah.
but then you say, I'm going to sell 6 cars next week, and then you only end up selling 4,
Hmm.
and then you're disappointed. But you sold one more than the week prior to that. So be proud of that. Don't overestimate your goals. There's one really good quote, actually, it's just come to mind as well, is that we overestimate what we can achieve in one year and
Mm.
we underestimate what we can achieve in 10 years. And that mixes in with your 6 month goal. I think that's important, the 6 month thing. If you can make your goals bite sized, try to achieve as much as you can in 6 months, as long as it's realistic. I would
Yeah.
say if you wanted to get a 6 pack, you probably it depends on what position you're in, but if maybe you can't do that in 6 months, but maybe you could do that in 2 years. You know what? What can you achieve in 6 months? Can you do 10 sit-ups in 6 months rather than just focusing on the end goal too much? I'm going to have a big 6 pack. No,
Yeah.
you can't even do one sit-up at the moment. Can you do 3 sit-ups by 6 months? And then go from there. This is about making these goals bite sized rather than just I'm going to be ripped and have a six pack in 12 months. Maybe it's not that achievable. Maybe for some people it is. Maybe for some people it's not. But the point is to it just ties in well with this quote is that we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year and we underestimate what we can achieve in 10 years. And the point of that is that if you made progress within that 1 year, but you didn't hit your goal, but you made progress, you need to
Yeah.
celebrate that and go, right, okay, I realize that this goal is going to take longer than 1 year. So can I make this into a 2, maybe 3 year goal? Can I make it more manageable? So take that stress away and say, I need to do this in whatever these goals are in 12 months. Sometimes it's just unrealistic. And this is why sometimes I get upset about people making New Year's resolutions who don't have that um, drive to keep pushing on because it could be 2, 3 months into the year and then you give up. And then you get to the end of that year and you're like, shit, I had New Year's resolution to quit smoking this year or something like that.
Hmm.
Some people smoke. Some people smoke 10 cigarettes a day. Can you get that down to 8 cigarettes a day by the end of the year? If it's so much of an addiction to you, again, it's just an idea that I'm throwing out there, but we don't want to overwhelm our brains
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
when we overwhelm ourselves, we tend to give up so easily. And that's the problem. That's one of our flaws as human beings. We tend to give up so easily, especially when we're faced with setbacks. So you have to make things manageable. You have to make them realistic. Can you do those things in 6 months? If not, then can you do them in another 6 months? That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I liked what you said because some goals can be done in 6 months, and sometimes that can be a good motivator to push yourself even more if it's a more manageable goal.
Mm.
So don't be disheartened if you can't do it in 6 months or even 12 months. As long as you stay true to the path, it might take another 6 months on top of that or another year. But as long
Mm.
as you are checking in regularly with that goal, you're staying true to it, you're going to get there eventually.
Yeah. Is that this you made me also the something that came to my mind like that I told you about a guy named Simon Sinek, right? He
Hmm.
was saying he had like a show. Actually, it was on YouTube. I was looking at this video. He was talking about he was at a he was giving one of his speeches. So he was saying, if I go to the gym and I do all this lifting, all this weights or whatever, okay, maybe 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden you probably give up. Okay. But you said like if you just go to the gym for 5 minutes, is that doable?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you do the next day, 5 minutes. Okay,
yeah,
then you ask yourself, what about 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that? 5 minutes
mm.
might seem ridiculous for a person that doesn't really like going to a gym or whatever. You need to stay longer or whatever.
See your
But
point
the
though.
but you shouldn't be because if you give them too much, they go crazy, like you just said. So that's
Yeah,
what it is. So he says like go to the gym, spend just 20 minutes, and that's about it. Next
yeah,
day, 20 minutes.
yeah. Some people an hour, typically in the gym, is what most people probably spend.
Pretty
45
much.
minutes to an hour. Some people an hour is probably overwhelming in any task.
Mm,
So can you make that smaller and just walk into the gym first on a Monday? Just walk in and walk around and just observe what machines are there, what weights are there, where the layout of the place. That could just be
mm,
a starting point for somebody. And then Tuesday, you go in and you do 5 minutes on the treadmill, or you do 5 minutes on arms or chest or something like that.
mm-hmm.
And then you leave, and then you come back, maybe take a rest on Wednesday if it was intense, especially if you've not worked out for a long time, that could be intense. And then you come back on Thursday, and then you try a different machine or something. And then just think maybe for the first month, you're just going to try one machine out every single or every other day, whatever your routine is. You don't have to be a pro when you walk into the gym. And what people find is that when they walk into a gym, they think everybody is staring at them. And sometimes that's true. I've seen it.
Mm,
But in but most people don't stare at other people. Most people are just they've got their music on, they're doing their own thing, and
mm-hmm.
they're working on themselves. You'll find that most people don't really judge in the gym in any gym that I've been to, I've never heard
Mm-hmm.
anyone come up to me and judge me for what I've done. Maybe they've given me pointers or tips to do something better, and I've
Yeah.
took that as con constructive criticism, and that's a good thing because that's feedback again.
Yeah.
But some people are scared to even step into a gym, and I understand that, especially for women for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can just start very, very slowly and walk into the gym on a Monday, just walk in and look at the layout of the place. Then Tuesday you come back and you do 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes on the treadmill. And then Wednesday you take a break, and then Thursday and Friday you just do even 1 minute more than what you did on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Making progress. That's the point. You
Yeah.
haven't got to feel like, again, this is the overwhelm and trying to eat the elephant and trying to do the whole goal in one go. Like you're never going to go to the gym for 4 weeks straight and get a six pack. It's never going to happen. No matter
Mm-hmm.
how much effort and how much you push yourself and punish yourself, you're not going to get that six pack in 1 month. So
Mm-hmm.
again, it's just always coming back to making things manageable and make sure that it's not overwhelmed, because too
Yeah.
much overwhelm from the brain and there's a red flag and it's like, no, 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 we're leaving. Just stop this now. The brain just cares about your safety.
Pretty much.
Because like, think about it, right? When we were hunter gatherers 100,000 years ago, we, all they were doing probably was hunting early in the day, the men hunting um, for prey. That probably was very energy consuming. And then whilst they bring the food back to camp, the women would probably be preparing the food, looking after the children,
Mm-hmm.
doing a little bit, and then probably you'll find a caveman snoozing underneath a tree somewhere,
Yeah.
probably not doing too much. So that's my point is that we weren't born building buildings and doing so many different great feats straight away. It's taken a long time for human beings to get to where we are in terms of achieving a lot of things. And
Yeah.
probably the first, I'm not an expert, but it probably took a long time for cavemen and cave women to understand how, if I am motivated to do something, I will achieve it if I can envision it, and
Yeah.
if I can see it in my mind's eye, that I can, even just killing a wild animal to eat it is an achievement. Is
Mm-hmm.
because you feel a sense of pride. Even a caveman would feel that, right?
Yeah.
Most probably. And so, but my point is like they probably didn't make things so overwhelming for themselves that they just decided not to go out and hunt and do things that were too much for them, because they probably wouldn't have survived and we wouldn't be here today talking about this. So
Yeah.
it's natural to feel overwhelmed. It's natural to feel like you want to stay in your comfort zone. But what is rewarding before the lights go out for your life is that to do something that's meaningful in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm all about, is trying to do something as meaningful as possible, because we might not be here tomorrow. And that's the harsh reality of life.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to, if you're striving for something, to achieve something in life, you have to make it something that's real and tangible. You can feel it,
Mm-hmm.
not just like some people. They say it's getting towards the end of the year, and you're at maybe a Christmas party or something like that, and you're having conversation, you're drinking, smoking, whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not thinking straight. Maybe you're thinking. People are talking about their New Year's resolutions,
Mm-hmm.
and people just throw in comments. Oh, I'm going to quit smoking next year. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to quit this. I'm going to get fit. What does fit mean? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make, is that in these social situations, like, people will just throw away comments to say, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to quit smoking. Um, I'm going to have a nice car. What is a nice car? How
Yeah.
specific is, and that's my role as a coach. I would be asking somebody to specifically describe it. What color
Yeah.
is the car? What
Yeah.
make and model is the car?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does fit look like to you? When will you stop smoking? When will you stop drinking? Because you could say at that party, I'm going to quit smoking and drinking next year. But what point next year? On the first of the month at
Yeah.
6 a.m., I'm going to throw away all my cigarettes and all my alcohol, and then I'm doing this. start clean. But that again, that's just my point of being a coach, is that it makes it so specific for you that you see it and you understand it. Because I feel like we are very, very vague in our conversations with people.
Yeah.
You know, we want to contribute to a conversation just for to feel a part of that conversation. And sometimes it's too cheap to throw in a comment and say something like that. Oh, I'm going to do this next year. I'm going to do that next year. Words are like
Yeah.
magic. The things that you say go into your subconscious without you even realizing. We can talk about that on a different episode, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, that would definitely be a long one.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
my point is just to make things manageable for you, not to overwhelm yourself. It's gonna happen. It's going to happen, but you have to embrace that suck and get through the other side of it.
yeah, like yeah, you just gotta embrace it, and it's gonna achieve, and what you put in your mind, that's what it is, you know. So if you feel like you're not gonna accomplish it tomorrow, then it most likely is not gonna accomplish tomorrow. That's what it is. It's just you're programming your mind to setting yourself
Mm,
up for failure. That's just the way it is. Well,
yeah,
yeah, so yeah, this definitely has been definitely a long podcast, so it's pretty long, but
been
it's all
good
right.
though, man. It's
It's
been
really
really
good.
good.
So just getting back, like just to break down some stuff, like I was saying earlier, like identify some clear goals. Identify clear goals. That is number one, and I just wrote it down. And create a plan. Definitely got to create a plan. That's number two. Create a plan. Track your progress. Like I was talking about a habit tracker. So you just check off and see what you go to help you along your progress. Stay motivated and overcome challenges. Challenges will happen in your goal setting and will stop you from progressing and moving on. So overcome challenges and seek support. Can be your friend, your family, anyone that's in your circle that will tell you like all it is, have accountability and maintain flexibility. Sometimes you probably have to switch things up a little bit. You don't have to do the same thing that, oh, this is going to work for me, but you can adjust it to adjust your goals or whatever plans that you have. You can make some changes and practice self-compassion. Okay, I messed up. I could do better. Just don't really beat yourself up. Go ahead. Oh, you got something going on. Okay, fine. Okay. It's okay. I will still continue. And this other one is called reflect and adjustment. Okay. So reflect and adjustment.
Sorry. We're back.
Okay.
We're back. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I would say let's practice self-compassion and reflect and adjustment. You just reflect on your day of your goals and see like what can you have done to make things better. Do you have to make some adjustments? Just be realistic with yourself.
Yeah.
And celebrate your success. Just a pat on your back, a clap in your hands, or singing a song, or something. I don't know, but
Do something that makes you feel good.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Kiss your wife or something, or a girlfriend or whatever, and it makes you feel better. So that's what it is. So yeah, so those are the 10 steps that I just laid out for you guys, and you can apply to your life. And yeah, see where it goes. And for those who have setting goals for this year, man, I wish you the best of luck and keep at it. And if you need any advice, you can reach out to both of us and we will be happy to help you out.
Absolutely, man. We want to see people win. You don't want to see people struggle.
Yeah.
You know, you want to big people up. You want to be a support system for people. Anybody, I have respect for anybody that wants to achieve something in their life and is willing to sacrifice for it. Two
Yeah.
things I want to add as well is you were really right about adjusting and pivoting with your goals. That
Mm-hmm.
you'll find that they're going to change sometimes. Some things might not work out 6 months into that goal, and you might have to readjust and calibrate that goal. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a really big point to just hammer home for people is that when that adversity hits you, you're gonna probably think about quitting. No, you need to think, what can I do to change things here slightly? I might need to change things around a little bit. And one other thing is a powerful thing. We mentioned it at the well, you mentioned it at the very beginning of the episode is to write things down.
Write it
When
down.
you write something down in your own handwriting, when it's in your writing, you're gonna pay attention to it. You know, you walk down the street. Let's say, for example, um, I don't know. Let's say when you were a kid, you wrote a really good essay at school. And you know, like sometimes in schools, like they keep the best work up on the wall for
Yeah, that, yeah, they did
over
that. Yeah.
years. Or something. Yeah, just an example. You're always going to remember that it was stuck on that wall. And if your kid is going to that school or something, you're just going to automatically think about um, that handwriting because it's there, it's yours, it's your possession.
Hmm.
So yeah, when you write something down, you're going to pay more attention to it rather than typing it down in your phone, rather than typing it up on a computer or laptop. You know, if you
Hmm.
write things down, you're going to pay more attention to it. It's just psychology with this.
Yeah.
So that's it's like an imprint in your mind's eye that that's my handwriting. What did I write down? As long as you have the intention to look at it every single day, somewhere where these goals are that you'll see every day, and it will just go into your subconscious eventually. So yeah, I just wanted
Yeah,
to add that in.
you definitely right about that. It just brought back some memories because I remember back like when I was living in New York when I was little in elementary that we did some like writing or drawing and to put it up in the bulletin board in the hallway in the school so
Yeah,
everybody can admire it. I haven't thought about that in many years. Like wow, that's definitely true. And then when there was like a PTA meeting, my mom would come and she would see, oh, this is my son's work.
yeah,
Oh, it's a nice drawing or whatever. And that's, yes, the writing imprinted into your brain, your subconscious. And yeah, it's like what you write down is what you're manifesting. That's the
yeah,
facts, okay? Because you see it all the time. All right,
yeah. That's
man. Definitely, this was definitely a good talk, man. It was definitely a good podcast.
absolutely. Thank
It
you
was,
guys for watching and listening in. You know, this is the life project, right? It's life is a project, and this is
yeah,
what we're here to do is to kind of help you guys, just giving you those tips, those pointers to help you navigate through this difficult life. Life is tough. We don't need to make it harder than what it is. We need
yeah,
to make it
true.
easier.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you guys for your time. I hope this podcast, matter of fact, I don't want it to hope. I want it to be a part of your
Yeah,
life and actually make some achievements and change your life around. So yeah, it needs to happen. And
yeah.
yeah, and believe it or not, I'm doing a podcast with my friend Dennis.
You got
Dennis.
it right, man. You got it. It's just so much easier to just say it like that. It's so much easier.
Dennis. So
Remember? Do you guys ever remember the Beano, Dennis the Menace?
yes, I looked at that when I was little too. That is the best. And the cartoon and the movie.
That's the one. Yeah, yeah. Everybody, just think that. When I tell people my name, it's just you tell them, call me Dennis the Menace. It just sticks. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what
So
everybody
yeah.
used to call me that in school. So yeah, it's just one of them things.
So what I was saying before I said like Dennis, I'm saying
Yeah,
I'm learning also from him, to believe it or not, So yeah, that's just the way it is. We are sharing our different perspectives in life and we're just learning
that's,
as we're growing,
that's the
and
beauty.
that's the way it is. Yeah.
The beauty of life, man, is coming together and sharing experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you everyone for your time and yeah, have a great one. Dennis,
Thanks a
thank you
lot.
so much for coming
Thanks,
apart,
brother.
man. I can't wait to do it again, man.
Definitely. Take
All
care,
right.
guys.
All right. Take care, everybody. Take it easy. God bless. Peace. What is
Peace.
this? What is
Those
that?
balloons. See the balloons there?
Yeah, you did that?
No, I don't know. I think you done that when you said peace like that.
Hold on. Peace.
But you did this once before. You put your thumbs up in one of the last
Oh,
episodes.
okay. That
I remember
I was
we were
like, what the
talking
hell is
once.
going on?
I think it was like the first or second episode. I think you did a thumbs up like that, and then it
Oh,
did a virtual
okay.
one as well while you were talking. So I think it just does those emojis or something like that.
Okay, so it's an indicator to start and it's over, I guess. Okay, this
I'm
is
not
this
sure.
is
I'm
this
not
is
sure.
strange.
I've never seen that before.
Okay, guys, goodbye.
Bye.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. This is strange. All right, man. Take it easy, man.
All right, man.